Any additions? Councillor Izan?
Under council statements or wherever appropriate, just consider bringing up a couple minor items with regards to the Downtown Improvement Association meeting from October.
Councillor Crandall?
Both their meetings, summary statements.
Okay. Councillor Larson? No, Glenn?
Thank you, Richard. I wish to, under council statements, address a fall fare issue that admit that I was wrong and speak to that with regards to access to the site.
Tell him he can do it.
Councillor Larson?
First off, I'm amazed that Councillor Glynn was wrong. Second off, I'd like to speak a little bit about the hut-to-hut and a little bit about the college, and that's about it.
Thank you. Any disclosure of interest? Councillor Flynn?
Yeah, I don't know if I need to disclose it or if it is a perceived conflict of interest, but I'm going to ask staff. I market the provincial or national Chamber of Commerce benefit plan. It's completely independent of the Chamber of Commerce, but it is marketed under the name of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm just wondering if I am in conflict in voting on the Chamber of Commerce agreement. I hadn't thought of it in the past, and I don't think it is, but I guess I'd like staff's thoughts.
Your Worship, in my opinion, Councillor conflict.
Thank you.
And we do have one additional item under the look on the Sioux Swap Daycare Society.
All the councillors have a copy. Right. Item 5, RCMP staff suppose. Going to give this to council. Council.
Thanks for having me here today. Just a short review and then I'll answer any questions. As I said, I believe in the last one, Councillor Ray Walker-Dine will be starting here November 23rd. That's the additional position that was authorized by Council to start October 1st, so he'll be starting here November 23rd. Then on that date, Constable Curtis Cole will be moving back into the municipal traffic position for the city. We still have one member who is still on light duties from back surgery. She's presently in Vancouver for the last 3 or 4 weeks, now being rehabbed on her back. So hopefully when she comes back from that, we'll have a clearer direction of when she'll come back and fill her positions. Indications from the federal government, we will be getting a First Nations position for 2008. That's really a frustrating process, and it seems to take forever, but I hope we'll get it next year. There has been an increase in enforcement by Revelstoke and Cygnus Traffic Services over the last month, especially in the downtown area. They've been doing enforcement on lights and also coming down the hill. Seat belts as well as priority of theirs. So they've been working quite a bit in town over the last month. In regards to some of our programs, Victim Services continues to be very busy. They're still in the process of trying to identify new volunteers and maybe advertising again. The lack of volunteers continually places an increased burden on the few volunteers we have and the manager that has to take calls as well. Auxiliary constables, they're still coming out, working on patrols, on functions. They were dealing with the Remembrance State Traffic Patrol in the last weekend. We're still trying to identify further candidates for training. It's not that it's not worthwhile, but it's we're trying to get more than 1 or 2 to train so that it's more effective. We may try and partner up with maybe Warren or something like that to see the training. Citizens on patrol are still out working school zones and continue to do their deal there in regards to the speed board and patrolling weekends. BC Prime, that's a new computer filing system, records management system that we're going into, and we're actually going live tomorrow. We've completed all our training, so it's been full time over the last 2 weeks to get everyone in our members and trained in Prime, full courses for different components of it. So it was difficult, definitely office staff training is still on the day-to-day work, but that's been completed now. And we start off tomorrow, and that's going to add workload for the members of staff, especially until they get familiar with this system. Significant files. There's been a number of assaults and threats among young people in town over the past month, and our GIS unit has been tasked with investigating those reports and hopefully get to some resolution in regards to some of those. The number of commercial break-in enters continue to be a concern within Salmon Arm as well. In the last month, there's been 9, up from 3 years before, and overall for the year, from 64 to 66. So over the year, this last month, we seem to have had a rash of them. Theft from vehicles also has continued to increase. The last quarterly report, when I was here, council had a couple of questions. They wanted to see policing stats. We spent $14,750 provincial money in regards to those enhanced patrols, in which we gave 82 warnings and charges under the federal statutes, and over 160 boats were checked. One of the problems regarding enforcement is that we schedule these patrols and we get out on the lake, and then something else happens, either a boat accident or assisting BC ambulance to bring somebody in or something along those lines. So one of the major enforcement issues is in regards to the water access provincial parks, because we have a lot of boat traffic in there during the week. Continues the number of the boats, the number of passengers at a good time, and sometimes gets out of hand somewhat. So we're still trying to come up with partnerships with the parks, and Sick Moose and Salmon Arm work together on a couple of long weekends or summer to try and have an impact on that. Another issue was number of assaults, in which the spousal assaults. And 35% of all our assaults in Salmon Arm can be attributed to relationships. So whether they're spousal or boyfriend, girlfriend relationship assaults. So 35% of them of all of our assaults are that way. There's also numerous calls for assistance in regards to domestic arguments per se, where no assault has been reported. That 35% of our assaults, the number of spousal assaults that are reported, the number that actually do happen, because a lot of them go unreported. The other issue you're looking for is traffic reader boards, like a sign on the highway coming down. I've done some inquiries, and a company is actually going to drop one off for me here in the next couple of weeks. And when I get it, I'll bring it down to council here, and folks can have a look at it and see if that's something you wish to pursue, whatever, and see what it's. I don't even know what exactly it looks like, but it can be mobile or it can be mounted permanently in one place. It also has the capability of keeping track of statistics for traffic volumes and those types of things. So it may be something that can be used in different areas of the community. So when we get a look at it and the specs, I'll bring it down, and we can keep it here for a bit and have a look at it and see if it's worthwhile to deal with that. That's basically it. I've got some stats here if people want questions in regards to where we are on certain issues. But, the one issue that I didn't touch on is not so much for in Salmon Arm, but it is within the municipal boundaries still a concern, is the number of fatals that we've had in Salmon Arm or Salmon Arm area this year. Fatals this time last year, we had 3, and we have 4 already to this same period last year, this year. But in the rural area, in 2006, this time last year, we only had 1, and we had 5 this year. So all in all, I think we're up to 9 or 10 so far this year, which is isn't very good for sure, and I don't know what we do about them. A lot of the accidents are people turning in front of other vehicles, too fast, those types of things. There's been 1 or 2 with alcohol involved, and most of the rest of them haven't been. So I don't know what we can do with that. But there's just to try and come up with something, if there's anything we can do in regards to those.
You don't mind answering it?
No.
Councillor Lyles?
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Dave, for the presentation again. How much, thanks